whatever. Yep. Okay, today we're gonna talk. No.
It could still go.
Yeah, I'm still good with it.
Okay.
Today we're gonna talk about addiction.
Yeah. Also, hey, it's Chris and Sis.
Yep, that too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've told you guys we both quit nicotine lately. I am,
That's this one.
2 weeks?
Huh?
A little over 2 weeks.
You're at 2 weeks?
I'm at 15 days now.
I'm at 6 weeks. Been smoking since I was 15 years old, smoking cigarettes.
I've been smoking since I was 20.
Mm.
I don't think anybody really talks about what you experience after you actually quit, though. They all say it's really hard. And I'm like, oh, whatevs. Well, it is. But at the same time, no, it is.
Before we dig in completely,
Yeah.
I want to, just...
Backstory?
Yeah, well, not necessarily. Just kind of line out that we're not going to completely spend this whole time talking about nicotine addiction specifically. There's substance addiction, and then there's, plenty other forms of addiction, like...
Habit addiction.
Yeah, habit addiction. Habits, habitual.
Habitual addiction.
It can be plenty of different things. I'm not going to have all words today because my brain's not the wordiest of the words.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
We are not professionals.
These are the inner workings of our minds.
And we are just sharing our journeys. So we're not going to have all the definitions and all that. We're just going off of what we know from it.
We'll be somewhat all over the place here, as we already have been, because that's just how it be sometimes.
Yeah.
Today we feel like pizzas.
Definitely. I have bug bites all over me. I look like a pepperoni pizza.
But I'm still a king. So, on the addiction spectrum, 6 weeks in, I had a lot of irritability where I just didn't want to be around anybody. I had a lot of trouble communicating. She's still trying really hard to be nice. I made it through my own phase. She hasn't been mean to me. I'm good.
I'm really trying to choke it down, but there's this overwhelming anxiety. It feels like a train is coming and no train is coming. But that's what it feels like inside of me.
Like train?
Like
rage?
No, I'm not angry. I'm just I feel like I gotta get up and moving. Or I gotta find something to do, or I gotta run. I don't know. And it's really hard to quiet it. And my head hurts. My lymph nodes are swollen. But after you go through so many years of putting a substance in your body, what do you expect?
Yeah, your body's going to fight back a little bit once you take it away because it's something it's used to. I'm past the majority of that now. Think whatever you believe in the sky or otherwise. Wasn't the worst thing I've ever experienced. I had a major drug addiction that I overcame. I think 3 years clean. I was never one that counted. There's a lot of different ways to overcome this stuff. 12-step program works great for a lot of people, and recovery programs, I'm really glad those things exist. Wasn't for me. I did it my own way because I had to do it my own way, and it worked my own way. None of that worked for me. Doing it my way that made me comfortable worked for me. But that being said, a hard drug addiction made it a lot easier for me to quit smoking. Wasn't all that much of a challenge for me this time around. I was just like, I'm going to do that. And then I just did. But it's definitely something I could talk through,
I am interested to hear about... I watched you through your journey of quitting,
I don't know if we should use specific words.
I don't know if we should either.
Yeah.
It was a hard drug, though.
It is.
But I watched your
journey through that. It was one of the bad ones.
And, the thing about addiction, if you don't quit the first time, that doesn't mean that you can't quit.
Now you have a little bit of experience in, starting to quit. Yeah.
I quit smoking 5 or 6 times this year, and this is the first time I made it past 6 days. Now, I'm not going to lie, I have had 1 cigarette, and I've had puffs off of people's. I tried to smoke a whole cigarette probably about 3 or 4 days ago, and I couldn't, and that felt really good. I felt sick immediately, and I could feel, I think it was a good experience just to feel the effects that it was doing to me without it being the drug. Because when I started smoking, I was in a lot of emotional pain. So for me, it was taking care of that. And now I'm in a lot of pain, but not emotionally or any of that. It's physically because of what I've done to my body with it.
Word.
And it takes about 7 years, from what I've read, to counteract what you've done with smoking. So even
7
by...
years. It's about how long it takes for your body
that's
to
how
heal
your
itself.
body to start takes your body to start healing. So I'm going to be well into my 30s by the time but at the same time, they say after 4 or 5 months, you're really starting to see the effects. I can already take a deep breath, but my body's not used to taking a deep breath.
6 weeks is good for me so far, man. I ran last week. That was cool. Some people do that a lot, and it doesn't hurt. And now I know that. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I'm experiencing smelling things.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Things smell sometimes not so pleasantly.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna name any names, but guys, let's all make sure that we wear some deo. You know what I'm saying? Not you.
I think I showered. I showered last night.
You smell like secret.
No, it's Rasmin?
Jasmine?
Jasmine? Jasmine and something.
Aladdin. It's a whole new world.
Oh.
Whole new world. All right, that's my moment. That's my 10 seconds of fame.
But yeah.
Addiction isn't just the psychological effects that we experience. It makes it a pain to stop. It's so many more things than that. And, you know, something like smoking might not have such, you know, terrible effects on your family and the people you care about around you. But, you know, more serious addictions most definitely make a difference in every aspect of life. And that's something I experienced for a very long time. I'm even the type that did everything I could. I went out of my way not to wrong anybody in my situation. If I didn't have money, I didn't have a fix, if you will. You know, that's just how it was. I wasn't one that went around ripping people off, and I don't look down on people that are, you know, that's not my message here. The point is, it does turn you into somebody else. And even though I tried to be the best person I could while I was screwing my life up, in my brain, if I keep this to myself, if I isolate myself, if nobody watches what's happening, they're not experiencing it either. And it wasn't until long after that was over with that I realized that I was completely, absolutely wrong. And everything you do affects other people. Isolating yourself affects other people because now they can't love you even from a distance because you're not there. It's like you disappeared off the face of the earth, and now they're forced to go on without you. And the people you care about are used to having you in their life. You know, now you're somebody else. So now they have to not only live without you, but worry about you, and it just puts a strain on everything else. It's a really selfish situation to be in and put the people you care about in. And people do care. There are people that can help you, you know, if you reach out and make the right decisions to get your life on track, you know. I struggled with that for a really long time because I've always been one that doesn't want to ask anybody else for help. I want to be strong on my own, you know. And I've gained a lot of strength doing that, but, you know, I think if I would have maybe allowed myself to lean on other people, I could have learned a lot of the things I know now a little bit faster.
Yeah.
A lot of it faster. And I could have saved a lot of you heartache and turmoil, you know, in the process. But everything's rebuildable. That's the good thing to know, you know. Always learn from everything that you go through, because I learned a lot about addiction. I learned a lot coming through addiction. And going through that has put me in a place now where, you know, I am glad that I learned the valuable lessons that I did. I was an addict for probably 6 to 10 years, and it controlled a lot of my life. And that began right after we lost our father. And I just let it go on for way, way too long. And there are always excuses. It's the easiest thing to do in the world, to make excuses. Well, I can't right now. I can't
because this event's coming up, and then this event's coming up.
After this, I'll do better. And you're never going to be ready. Mm-mm. You're never ready for anything. You're never really ready to do anything, you know? Like, I think that's a big part of what makes life interesting and even exciting, is sometimes you just got to jump right in and, you know, just start doing.
I feel like it's all about the process more than it is the destination. So yeah, I wanted to quit smoking so I would feel better. Well, I'm in the process right now. I've hurt myself. That's what I've done. And my body is showing me how much I've hurt myself. And that's why we're talking about also listening to your bodies. It's something Chris and I have been talking a lot lately, because we don't have the best food habits.
Yep.
We both smoke cigarettes. We both come from a background of alcohol addiction too. Mm-hmm. Grandfather's father. And now we're trying to, you know, break the cycle and change our lives. It's weird, like, how those wounds fester from, like, generations to generations.
Yeah.
Like, our mother grew up watching her father be an alcoholic, and
almost like it's inherent in our DNA in one manner or another. And there's a lot about human biology that we still don't completely understand, like how information is stored on a cellular level or on an energy level.
Yes.
Spirituality ties in as well. because there's a lot we don't understand about energy, and energy is a storage system, just in the same way that biological life forms are, but maybe not in the same way that biological life forms
It's
are.
interesting, actually, because so with my spirituality, I do read tarot cards to myself. I do self readings, and the last 3 to 4 I gave myself this year told me I need to start paying attention to my physical health, and I was like, nah, like I don't know. But then every reading I got, and then I was like, in the back of my head, it's like, you need to quit smoking. You need to quit smoking. You need to quit smoking. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And I'm still not sure if I'm glad I did it, but I'm sure someday future me is going to appreciate past me.
You'll appreciate it in a couple weeks.
I probably will. I just need to get over this,
Yeah.
like
You're on that slump.
I am on this
The
one.
slump.
That's why I look like this today. What is
Pizza.
going on? I feel like a pizza.
You see that Jennifer Lawrence interview where she's talking about, she's like, "Where's the pizza?" It's funny. If you've never seen that, you should look it up because it's hilarious. It's really funny.
But I guess, yeah, we did speak a little bit more about substance addiction, but it's both our journey right now.
There's a lot of addictions, and then there's also technological addiction. This is going to be more of an intro to addiction. I decided that earlier, but I don't really have the energy to dig deep into it, and I think we should start small, and then if people are interested, want to hear what I got to say, or somebody's struggling, especially, and need somebody to talk to or need to hear, watch something where you don't have to respond to somebody else, because sometimes it's easier to be given information and just be able to meditate on it without the judgment of anybody else. Having a conversation with somebody else always involves even an inherent amount of judgment that you can do nothing about, because that's just how it is. If you're speaking to another human person, there will be human error, and it's easy to say that, I'm not going to judge you and I'm just going to be very open-minded, and if you go in with that mindset, it's highly possible. But I think a lot of people are afraid to take a step forward because of that, because it's hard to share that deep of
it's hard to be vulnerable, because some people, but
so yeah, that's the
I
reason
think it's good to talk about. I'm glad I have you to talk about this with, because I was like, I don't understand what's going on with me. And if you wouldn't have told me ahead of time what you were going through, I would really think about picking up a cigarette again. But now I know this is just my body's process of letting it all go. That's
all it is. That's why you're irritable. That's why you're, having communication issues right now. You got some brain fog going on. You're not really processing things. I had a lot of trouble thinking clearly, like critical thinking, words wouldn't come to me.
It's also, though, anytime I had like a stressful emotion, I would pick up a cigarette. And now I'm learning how to have stressful emotions without picking up a vice.
Yep. It's a distraction, just like anything's a distraction. Most addictions are distractions. Technology is an addiction. I didn't realize that a lot of you dudes be playing a lot of video games. Like, I know that sounds dumb that I say that, but I didn't even think about it. I don't play video games at all. And like, I've had like 4 or 5 conversations this week about, oh, this person just plays so many video games. Sometimes I just want to hang out with them. I just want them to hear what I'm saying, but they're so focused on their video games.
He called out, you gamers.
Yeah, video games ruin relationships. Dead ass. Real thing. Like, and I've noticed this. I'll be having conversations with my boss, and she'll be like, all right, now listen to what I'm saying. And when she says that, I have it programmed into my mind now. When I hear that, I take my phone and I put it down, and I look her in the eye, and you have my full undivided attention. And that does a lot, man. It does a lot for communication, and I don't forget what we just talked about so often. Like, your full undivided attention is important. You're looking at your phone and you're saying, oh, I can do both. But realistically, the human mind is not capable of fully focusing on 2 things at once. Your focus switches back and forth really, really quick, and you will miss key important parts of the information that you're supposed to be taking in.
I don't really know if I am in the headspace to talk about that myself right now.
That's why I'm doing my thing.
Like, I like video games myself.
You will get that.
I will get that. But I do like video games myself. But I also, okay, any of you know zodiac signs. I am a Libra. And what is Libra? A balancing scale. And what do I do with my scale of life, of the life and body I am in? I really do look at things in moderation. I've also realized that's a big part of just living. Everything in moderation.
Yes.
Like any little addictions that you do have. What if you do enjoy having a freaking cookie?
Oh, I love cookies.
I do too, but you can't eat them every day. You can if you want to, but
It's
me, I
probably
can't.
not good for you.
It's not. All the sugars, all that, even sugar free. Like I don't know. But like in moderation, reward yourself. Me, I could have an iced matcha or an iced coffee every single day, but I'm also like, girl, you can't afford that, and girl, you get that every now and then.
Ooh, spending money is an addiction.
Oh,
Oof.
I have had a shopping addiction. That's something I've had to come to terms with too. I am the reason why my finances are so crappy. So now I'm broke, and I'm gonna learn how to figure that out.
Saving money, man. Like we were
It's
talking
hard.
a couple months ago, I guess, in a video about like just putting back ones or fives and just, stacking those. Like if you cut out one small thing that you spend money on a day, it can make a really big difference if you throw that into a pile and just kind of let it sit. Like our brother, we used to do a big 4th of July party every single year, just all our siblings get together. And he would save his change for an entire year and cash it in. And he had over $1,000 a year every time, just saving his pocket change, man. So a few dollars, fives here and there, that can be a healthy addiction. Addiction can be used to your benefit as well. It's not always a detrimental thing, So become maybe addicted to stacking some cash, oh man, I haven't put $20 in the bank today, like ain't nothing wrong with that.
Also, whenever I started working out, you know how much easier it was? Like, oh, I'm ready to go to the gym. Also releases a lot of anxiety, gets you up and moving, gets your blood flowing. Like, I did understand I only worked out for like 2 or 3 months, but it was in the wintertime, which I'm going to probably do that again this next year too, just to keep myself active in the not so active months. But that addiction to that, just a little bit, really helped. And it also helped me with the cigarette cravings, because that's whenever I started the journey of really in my head, like wanting to quit, because it was hard to work out. It was hard to be on a treadmill because I couldn't breathe.
The word addiction kind of carries a stigma too, in a way. I feel like it's looked at like, I don't think any word should be put on a pedestal to where it carries like a certain degree of weight with it, We've talked about this vaguely in the past as well. So, addiction is how it sounds when you hear the word, right? But, what if it's not so scary? What if, the consequences of it can be real.
Yeah.
But look at it realistically, because I think the more...
I don't think most people look at the consequences, though.
Right.
Like, have we? I didn't know.
I have. But, I mean, this is something I've gone over with myself because, I had to make right my wrongs, which were the consequences.
Whenever I first picked up a cigarette, I didn't look at my consequences, but working in hospice and working in healthcare for as long as I did, I watched people die of lung cancer, of COPD. I watched my grandfather die of COPD. I watched when they intubated him. I watched what they took out of his lungs. And to that day, I was like, I don't want to pick up another cigarette, but I still didn't quit until now. It's been 3 years, but hey, I'm doing it now.
Mm-hmm. It's time to start getting my health right because I'm about to turn.
It's backwards on there, I think.
Do you know what I mean?
Hey, 30!
What better place than here? What better time than now?
I actually like being in my late 20s. I thought I would hate it growing older, but I'm kind of really enjoying the process.
You're at the age where you do something that's not completely wise to the world yet, and people will be like, oh, she's still just a kid. And you're also at the age where if you say something super duper serious and you know some stuff about some things, people will be like, what an intelligent young adult. It's like, there's a nice middle ground here.
Thank you, Age of Information.
I like it.
Okay, I think I'm done.
You're done? Well, I mean, you got to tell me when we're done because I can go on this subject.
We've been going on for a while.
Oh, that's nothing.
I don't know. Are you guys tired of hearing from us
Nothing.
Yet? Do you guys like these longer videos? Like, leave us comments. Let us know how we're doing. I like constructive criticism. Just don't be mean to me. I can't handle that right now.
You can be mean to me.
You can be mean to him.
I think I'm okay.
I'm just fragile for probably another 3 to 6 weeks. Then after that, I'll be back up and running.
Put a timeline on our healing here. No,
Yeah.
not really. Not really. That's just the time it takes the chemical imbalance to go back to normal.
Yeah, in my brain from the nicotine. I can feel my brain moving around.
Sometimes science good. Science very good.
Yeah.
Science and spirituality. Oh, that'd be a good one. We should do science and spirituality. Like that.
Spirit made me do this. They're like, girl, you need to cut that out. And I'm like, all right, you're right, Spirit. I didn't come here to live for cigarettes or die for cigarettes.
You're like Spirit the horse.
Oh,
You talking to a
I don't
ghost
want
horse?
to talk about that. That's a sad movie. I love that movie. I remember crying to it.
Remember
Okay.
Bridge to Terabithia?
Let's not talk about that. I'm not ready.
My heart. My heart. My poor
Why are you
heart.
doing this?
Oh no. Yeah, it's good for now. This is intro to addiction. Thank you for tuning in. If it was me watching these, I'd probably watch like a third of a video, a half of a video, and be like, oh well, that was substantial.
If you guys enjoy our banter, I guess that's why you stick around too.
Yeah, it's just,
We can be interesting
yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes you're feeling it. I'm just myself. You're just yourself. We're just ourselves.
Yeah.
We're just two flesh suits with spirit souls inside of them, walking around on a floating space rock,
Does the Pink Floyd lyric work
talking
here?
about things. Which one?
Two lost souls
I
swimming
mean,
in
in
a
a fish bowl.
Year after
The
year.
year. No, I'm not. I don't have a lost soul.
I don't really feel lost either.
I understand my purpose.
I know what I perceive my purpose to be.
Mm.
I also leave that open ended because who knows completely. You know?
I feel fulfilled enough. And, you
I
know,
do too. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Alright, guys.
We appreciate you guys.
Here's a Midwestern goodbye for you, which I
yeah,
think we did last video
that's
too.
how we do. We do that most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig deeper on this sometime in the future, and it's good, kind of getting the initial out there. So that's what it be, and that's why if I ever claim to know stuff about things, it's because I put myself through a lot of things. I've learned a lot from those things, and learning is growing. That's why our message is learning is growing,
Learning is growing.
because we've learned and we've grown and
Well,
we've
as
walked
you're
down some
growing, you're
roads.
learning, yeah.
There's a lot of roads we haven't walked down, and that's why we're going to continue guest spots and talking to other people
Yep.
that have aspects on things that we do not. And we love you very much before she gets irritated.
I'm not super irritated. But if you see me looking like this, you know why. Alright. Peace, love, and thank you.
Cookies.
And peace, love, and cookies. Okay, bye.